Hello and welcome. Today I try to warm up a cookie using my 3D printer. I was curious to see if I could make a cookie fresh off of the 3D printer taste just as good as a fresh cookie right out of the oven. Okay, now I'm going to get into the details. If you're not subscribed already, hit the sub button. So before I started warming up the cookie, I put a paper towel down so I wouldn't ruin the 3D printer and so I wouldn't ruin the cookie. Then I started at a low temperature. I heated up the bed plate to 50 degrees Celsius to see if that would have any effect on the cookie. After that, I tried 100 degrees Celsius because the 50 degrees Celsius wasn't warming up the cookie fast enough. I also made a time lapse of the cookie warming up on the 3D printer bed plate, as you can see right here. Not much changes except for the cookie starts to sweat after a few minutes, but there's nothing very noticeable on the outside. To be honest, I didn't think that the 3D printer had any effect on it until I took it off of the bed plate. I kept touching the chocolate chips on the cookie to see if the cookie was warmed up to a desirable temperature. After about 10 minutes of the cookie being on a 100 degrees Celsius bed plate, I decided to take the cookie off of the bed plate to see if the chocolate chips on the other side melted, or to see if the chocolate chips inside the cookie have melted. So the chocolate chips on the other side were a little bit warmer and melted a little bit in my fingers, but nothing too much. It wasn't like taking a cookie right out of the oven. The cookie was super warm, and the chocolate chips on the other side of the cookie were kind of melted, but not super melted. Then I did a taste test to see if it actually worked.
It's not actually that bad.
After I took a bite of the cookie, I noticed that the chocolate chips inside the cookie were melted a lot more than the chocolate chips on the surface of the cookie. I would call this a success because the 3D printer did a very good job at melting the chocolate chips inside the cookie. This cookie was at the perfect temperature to eat because many of the chocolate chips were melted and it wasn't hot enough to burn you like it would be if it was fresh out of the oven. Next time I get cookies, I will definitely warm them up on my 3D printer because it makes the cookies that much better. If you want a cookie, make sure to subscribe for more!